How to make the most effective licorice root lotion with shea butter. Thank you for joining me today at Family Guide to Herbs Online School. I'm Carolyn Gibson, family herbalist, organic farmer, massage therapist, and I will be your instructor and guide today. Okay, I have seen many videos on the internet about using licorice root to remove dark spots from your skin and for other skin conditions. But I felt like many of them really didn't know what they were talking about, and I see references to licorice root oil. Licorice root is water soluble, so an oil is not going to take up most of its properties. But you can add a licorice root tea to some oils like shea butter and grapeseed oil if you use an emulsifying wax. We're starting out with the strong licorice root tea. I took a cup of water and 2.5 ounces of cut and sifted licorice root and boiled it and simmered it for 10 minutes. And I pulled up, I wanted 180 grams of it, and that is what I have here. Okay, now I've got a lot more detailed instructions about Make Lotion on one of my other videos, and I'll leave a link to that. But we're starting out with our double boiler. I have a large skillet. I've got it set on high, and a little bit I'll turn it back down to medium. But I want this heat-proof container. I'm going to put it in there. And then I've got my licorice root tea, which I'm putting in here. Now I'm starting out with grapeseed oil, shea butter, and emulsifying wax. Now you have to check with your supplier to make sure you're getting a plant-based emulsifying wax and not made with petroleum. Now what I'm going to do, I need to let this melt. And then I need to also keep an eye on my water, my tea, and when they get to 110, remove them from the heat. Okay, now I have completely melted my oils, and now that they're completely melted, I'm adding some vitamin E. Now how much vitamin E you use is going to depend on what the strength of the vitamin E is that you bought. Now I'm going to just pour in a little right now. And just kind of use that bottle up because you can't use too much vitamin E. But I'll have a description more about how you figure the ratio of vitamin E to what you're making. Now, and I'm going to just kind of mix that in. Now I've been keeping an eye on my licorice root tea. It's right around 110. I want it between 100 and 110 because I'm adding honey to it. I don't want to destroy those properties, so I don't want to get over 110. And I'm going to add some Manuka honey because it really is a healing, more healing than the regular honey. This Manuka honey is really dark honey, so I'm just going to mix that in there. And then to fortify this with licorice, I'm adding a teaspoon of licorice glycerin. Now this is what we made in our other video, but you can certainly buy some store-bought licorice root glycerin. And if you buy non-alcohol licorice tincture, it's most likely a licorice root glycerin. So I'm adding a teaspoon to this to my water phase. I'm going to pour my licorice root tea into the oil. You see how cloudy that turns. And I want to stick blend this for 15 seconds. And you see, you really need a lot of paper towels for this. Now I have a mixing jar. I'm going to take this out now. And I'm ready to add my preservative. I'm going to put just a little bit of this lotion mixture in my jar, in my mixing jar. I'm adding 3 grams of my preservative. Now I used to try to use a natural preservative, but I've had my lotions mowed, so I just don't want to take a chance. So I'm going to put that in there. Stick blend this for 15 seconds. And put this back in with my other lotions. Now once more, I want to stick blend these for 15 seconds. Okay. Now once more, I'm going to pour this back into my mixing jar, just a little bit of it. And I'm going to add my essential oil. Now I am choosing basil this particular day because basil is real healing to the skin. You can certainly use lavender. What other essential oil you want to use. My husband likes the scent of basil. I think lavender, he would think it was too girly for him to wear. So I'm starting out with basil. And once more, I'm going to stick blend this for 15 seconds. And I'm going to pour this back into this jar. And once more, I'm going to mix this for 15 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to stir this with a long-handled spoon for about 2 minutes, because I'm trying to get all these air bubbles out. I want to make sure everything is well incorporated, and then I'll be ready to pour them into my container. Okay, I have mixed this lotion to kind of get as many air bubbles as I can. Now since I'm going through the trouble of making this really medical remedy, I don't want to use some cheap lotion bottles. So I'm using these airless pump bottles where you don't get any oxygen in there. We'll set that out. And I'm going to put the remainder into this jar because I just didn't have enough bottles set out. Now after this completely cools, we'll put the caps on it. You don't want to cap it while it's warm because you will create condensation. Condensation will create mold. So we'll be back when all this is cooled off. Okay, now our lotion has completely cooled, and I want to kind of show you the texture of this. It's pretty thick. It's not body butter, but it does make a really heavy cream. Now, more water could have been added to this to make it into a thinner lotion. Now, these airless pumps, I really like these. You put your lotion in there, just put the cap on. Then you've got this little notch that has to come out. And even though this is really a thick cream, you can see how it still comes out of these airless pump bottles where it probably would not have come out of your regular pump bottles or the flip top lids. Okay, our next project is going to actually be some body butter. Thank you for joining me today. Now, if you wish to see more of these videos, like and subscribe to our channel. Leave me comments in the comments section. Now, for the last 30 years, all of our income has come off our organic farm here in East Texas. We're 100 miles from Dallas, and our little community of 400 still considers chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy a health food. And they just do not understand our lifestyle. They still laugh at what we are doing, especially since our main crop is wheatgrass, which they really have no idea what that is. We need your support by subscribing and liking our channel, and be sure and visit me at familyguidetoherbs.com, your guide to natural homemade remedies. Thank you so much.